answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Something really, really interesting happened. I didn't talk about it last night because I don't really know how to talk about it. For the third time, the United States military decided it was going to board a tanker, an oil tanker coming out of Venezuela, and because they wanted to board it. You know, they're going to board it because they wanted to board the ship. They wanted to stop the ship. Basically, it's the police pulling them over at sea. You know, pull over. We're going to board you. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to shut off the engines and stop in the water. We're going to heave to, as it were, and then you can do whatever you want on our ship, and you can arrest us and take us. Right? Well, when you're in international waters, what do you have to do? Well, there's some interesting side notes on this. The ship was flying false registration. I love the mainstream media said it had a false flag. It was claiming to be Panamanian or something like that, right? Instead of being properly flagged to the country of its birth. Oh yeah, there's a lot of interesting naval terms out there, folks. I'm like, false flag? Come on, media. That's not the one we're talking about. Anyways, anywho, yeah. So their oil is sanctioned. Venezuelan oil is sanctioned. That's like your mom telling you to go to your room. Oh, Ma, come on, Ma, go to my room. It's sanctioned. I can't sell this oil. Oh, man, I had plans this weekend. What if it's your neighbor's mom trying to send you to your room? Imagine if your neighbor came over and banged on the door and you'd be like, I don't give a fuck who you are, lady. I don't care if you have your own kids. I don't care if you are a big mean bitch and you tell everyone else what to do. I'm not listening to you. Fuck off. That's what you would tell someone who is not your mom, trying to be your mom and punish you. Well, here we have the United States government telling Venezuela, your oil is sanctioned. Go to your room. And the Venezuela, two of the kids over there go, okay, and they hand their ships over, right? Okay, here's the keys to my car, and they hand the keys off. And this other one, though, he's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not pulling over. I'm not stopping. I'm not heaving to. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving you our ship just because you pulled up next to us and said, we own you and we're your boss. Now, difference between your neighbors and your mom and reality and the U.S. military is something a little different. So I read the headline, U.S. Coast Guard following tanker that refuses to allow itself to be boarded. And that reminded me of the old movies, right? Where the sheriff goes to the person's house and rides up on their horses, you know, and the property owner and all his cowhands are out front, and he's like, not today, Sheriff. You're not going to arrest me today, Sheriff. Oh, no, I don't think so. That's close enough, Sheriff. Right? If you've done something wrong and you know it and you allow yourself to be arrested, everything goes a whole lot smoother. But what if you're like, you know what? I don't care what you fucking think. I'm not going to do it. I'm not coming with you, Sheriff. Hey, I'm not pulling over and stopping my car, Sheriff. I'm not stopping my billion-dollar tanker and handing it over to the U.S. government, Sheriff. That's essentially what this is. Essentially. So the way I read the story, and the story could have been completely wrong, folks, don't get me wrong, is the military, aka Coast Guard, was not allowed to board the tanker. The tanker's like, fuck you. This isn't the United States of America. You're down around and near Venezuela, probably in international waters. I don't give a fuck if you say what I'm doing is wrong. This isn't your vessel. So, how does this work? Well, tell you what, folks. when you don't pull over in your car and you decide to keep going, if you go really fast, they're going to chase you. Well, if you go really slow, they're going to chase you. Only it's called following. Pursuing. So the Coast Guard is pursuing a ship that refuses to pull over because it's giant. And they're like, fuck you. No. I don't care if you have sanctioned us or sanctioned the oil or sanctioned any. Who gives a fuck? So the military is kind of scratching its head. That's my take, is they're scratching their head. They're like, this guy won't pull over. What choice do we have? What's our option? What course of action can we take? Well, in the world of automobiles, if you don't pull over and you're doing an O.J. Simpson nice and slow, well, they just follow you for a while. Except this tanker isn't full of U.S. celebrities or former pro football players that have just recently hacked their wife to pieces with knives. This is an oil tanker in international waters that just doesn't give a fuck and isn't going to stop. How do you stop it? Well, you can, what's going on down there is called a blockade. Even though they're trying not to call it a blockade, that's an act of war. But they're blockading. Now, in the old days with wooden ships, the blockade was out there. It was visible, say around a harbor or a bay or a city. And the point and purpose was to intimidate the people and stop ships from coming in. If they did come in or try and go out through a blockade, they would be boarded or blown to fucking bits. Either or. That was the threat, and the threat was made real with military action. Right? But in this case, you can't board this tanker ship. It's a giant motherfucking behemoth of a ship. And the captain's like, I'm not slowing down. I'm not going to make this easy for you. I'm not going to give my property to you. And perhaps the captain was given a reward and said, hey, look, they've captured 2 of our ships. If you make it through and don't stop, well, fuck it. We're going to triple your pay. I don't know. They did something. This guy's like, fuck it. We're making a run for it. Scotty, give all the power you can. He's like, I'm giving it all I can, Captain. If I give it any more, she's going to blow. Right? So the fucking chief engineer has got the engine souped up and they're making a run for it. I mean, literally, is a frigate, a military frigate, going to try and catch up to it, steam up to it, and intercept it and run into it? It's not like you can bump the rear and cause it to spin and, spin out the way a car does on the highway. Really, in all truth, folks, the only thing the U.S. military can do is disable the ship. Like on the roads, they'll put spike strips down. Well, I don't think they have water spike strips. Well, what else can they do? Well, all they can do without sinking the ship, if they're lucky, is somehow electronically shut the ship down. Or, I don't know, shoot the fucking propeller with a torpedo and only take out the propeller. He's taking a propeller out, sir. There's nothing I can do. Right? That's it. Or are we going to go back to colonial times and just start sinking fucking ships? We don't like you. Bam. Well, that could happen. I mean, that's what Ukraine is doing to Russian oil tankers. Isn't that interesting? These fucking games they play, they're tiresome. They truly are, folks. When one country says we're sanctioning you, oh, okay, fine, don't buy our oil, fuck off. And then they're like, no. What we're saying is you can't do any business with anyone on the planet. We're going to starve you and starve your people. That's a fucking act of war. Now, I understand I'm an American. I was born in California. I put my feet on sovereign, independent, free soil. I'm a free human being. But it's an act of war to do what they're doing. And the big thing here is, well, who's going to tell you no? because the United States is the big kid on the block. Who's going to stand up to him? Who can stand up to him? Well, when your country is run by a bunch of literal, psychotic, crazy, power-hungry, megalomaniac bastards, we as the people of that country, which is being occupied and power and authority going to foreign interests, it's quite a difficult situation. Well, it's going to get more interesting, folks. But so far, Venezuela is now deciding it's going to play another game. I don't think so, Sheriff. Not today. Okay. Wow. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens next.
Ho, 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 ho.